Hey, welcome back, everyone, to another edition of the Bart Curtis Show. And, of course, this show is a Northridge show, and the Tigers last Friday night took on a team, Coach, that was previously unscored upon, and then proceeded to, once we got our hands on the ball, to march down and score on them and to break that the streak. So you had to be pleased with that opening performance of the opening offensive series of the Tigers.
Thank you, Dave. It's good to be here, and I got to tell you, I am impressed with that mask.
Yeah, okay.
I am.
Got dual quads on
I see that. It gives you a little breathing room.
Right.
And
probably keeps out extra germs.
Yeah, I gotta find one of those. The reason Dave and I are in masks today is just because we're trying to be good Tiger coaches and follow protocol. And since we are definitely not 6 feet apart, we decided to go with the masks today. So, last Friday night, Dave, was a really couldn't have asked for a better start to the game. We gave up a first down or two and forced them into a fourth down and had a big stop. You know, Zach Ransbottom continues to impress me. I know you had him on the show last week after the Mishawaka game, and he had a big tackle for -5 yards on third down, or on second down, forced them into third and long. They got about half of it back, and then we made a big stop on fourth down. And then we're able to read our way through, get the ball on the perimeter and get the ball pitched on some triple options, and take the ball down. And Patrick Zollner was the first athlete in the state of Indiana to score on Northridge this year. So I think it was about a 7-yard run on a triple option. Aaron, the first few times we called triple, I think one he misread, and Juan may have scored on that one, and then he realized another one and it followed, the number 2 closed, and we didn't get the ball pitched, and still picked up some yardage. But Aaron continues to grasp what we're trying to accomplish. He has a good understanding of what we're doing offensively. And you're exactly right, Dave. It was, you could not have asked for a better start for us against an obviously formidable foe.
Absolutely. And just to mention here to people that do watch this, a Northridge facility is just a beautiful facility. They got a brand new facility up there, and it's just a gorgeous facility. Coach, I think, and as you watch the Tigers here, I really think the team is starting to develop more and more. I felt like that on the offensive line. I certainly felt like that with our backfield, and of course the defense just keeps, to me, getting better and better too as they continue through the season here.
Well, I think I mentioned this last week, where we've got to get to the point defensively and offensively for that matter. But I think we're right now offensively, we've had the same starting lineup ever since Isaac Leach was hurt in the Plymouth game. So we've had back-to-back pretty similar starting offensive lineups. Has not been the case on defense. We've had 5 different lineups in 5 games, 6 if you include the scrimmage. But I believe that we're getting close, and I saw us take a step in the right direction. And I talked last week about us finding the pieces to the puzzle, getting it all on the table, trying to assemble the puzzle, and then coaching that up to the nth degree. And I think once we get the kids in the right positions, and they go through the drills and see things day after day, and whatever the schemes are of the opponent we're going to face this week, it happens to be Goshen, I think we'll see continued improvement. Having Zach DeFord back and Zach Ransbottom back has certainly also made a difference.
Absolutely there, and I think that as we watch these teams, or the offense and the defense and the special teams, of course, certainly play their important role here, that they continue to grow together, and they also continue to play together much better as a team. I see everyone's rooting the kids on, everyone's cheering for each other on the sideline, so I think that the team is starting to grow that way also, and continue to grow that way. let's overall, of course, I felt like, Coach Wagaman and his crew said, hey, we're going to stop number 2. I mean, I think that was the mindset there. And it was some tough sledding for Juan, although he got some of his own good yards. It was tough yards there. But it certainly seemed to open up the outside for the rocket toss and to get away from the middle.
Yeah, it did. And back on that facility, that is a beautiful facility. And this playing surface is, very, very nice. I like ours, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Very simple.
Yeah, they closed really hard on our veer schemes, which forced the ball into the quarterback's hands, and then a decision had to be made to keep it or pitch it. That, along with some of the schemes incorporated by our offensive staff to try and get the ball in the perimeter, running rocket toss, was really highly effective most of the night, if I may say so. They do a nice job, and they spent a lot of time on this. It isn't like we get there and say, hey, how are we going to run rocket toss tonight, and what are our thoughts on this?
It's not that
no, they spend an awful lot of time trying to find what they're going to see, practicing against what they believe they'll see, and then having to adjust on the fly based on what actually is happening. So, that's nice to have that, and the same can be said for our defense. Coach Huber and his staff, Coach Callhorn, Coach Huffer, Coach Marley, they do a great job of in-game adjustments and sending pressure when pressure needs to be sent, and playing off a little bit when things need to play off. And I think, THEO KATRIS' last interception was proof of that.
He's going to be on this show a little bit later.
Yeah, and Julius Jones, is also, and he continues to be a threat on the outside. The most impressive thing, though, about Julius and Patrick Zonser isn't when they have the ball in their hands, it's when they don't.
Right.
I've often said blocking in this offense or any offense is the truest test of a kid's character and his selflessness. If you see somebody out there, just kind of going through the motions and not willing to block for their teammate, that's a selfish football player. And I've seen these two really rip it up in there on the midlines and the fullback dives, and they do a nice job for each other on the perimeter as well.
Exactly. Well, Coach, I want to talk about the P word, actually the P word in two senses with you, because number one, you don't like to punt the ball away, and we saw proof of that on a couple occasions, and then also passing the ball. The Tigers did go to the air a little bit on Friday night.
Well, we did end up punting our last possession.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Got a little conservative there. Up 27-14 with the ball. 3-4 minutes to go in the game. It'd be nice to grind that thing out a little bit, pick up a couple first downs, and get out of Dodge. It didn't work out that way for us. So we end up punting. A lot of people think, they get misconceptions about passing and whatnot. We are who we are, and when we want to throw the football, we're going to throw the football.
It is a tool in the toolbox.
Absolutely, and Aaron Green was 3 for 3 for 81 yards and a touchdown.
Right.
Luke Adamick made a fantastic catch. It's great to see him get in the end zone. Jackson Dawson made a phenomenal catch, and then Mason Martz made a catch out of the backfield on a wheel pass. So that threat is there. Teams have to respect that. I get a kick out of people that say, you got to be balanced. Balance is a defense will tell you whether you have a balanced offense. If they do not respect the formations and the threat of the pass, then you don't have balance.
Right.
But if they align and respect the passing game at some point, then you've got balance, whether you throw it twice or 22 times.
Right. Okay, Coach, I know we're heading into Sunday night and getting ready for the Goshen game, the homecoming game, big game, and all that kind of stuff. We can certainly expect the Red Hawks to come in here with their hair on fire and ready to play.
Without a doubt, and you got to make sure kids understand, and adults for that matter, that there is a football game at the end of this week. There's a lot going on. They've got the Spirit Days, which we want our kids to take full advantage of. Be kids. I'm sure there'll be some type of parade probably. Wednesday night we're having a faculty and staff open practice. So, all the teachers, cooks, custodians, secretaries, nurses, anybody who wants to is free to come down on the field and watch practice, and then the seniors are going to serve them pizza after the game. Then Thursday, we're going to be fed by the National Guard, and then Friday's the game. So, we've got a lot going on. We got to make sure we're organized, that we know where we need to be, when we need to be there, but make sure that we stay locked in and focused on the game at hand.
Very good, Coach. Exactly. Want to know is our mantra that we have around here, and it's going to be a challenge for the kids here, and it will be a challenge to stay focused on what's going on there, because right now the Tigers are 4-1, 3-0 in the conference, on the top of the conference, and every one of these guys coming up, starting with Goshen, is a threat to that. And I know that you and the coaching staff will, and the kids will do everything in their power to stay focused and to get ready for the Red Hawks. Coach, thanks for being with us today. We really appreciate it. Congratulations on another great victory and just a great football game. And again, I just can't emphasize it enough that I see a team that's growing here. I see a team that's developing, and so far I think everybody likes what they're seeing.
We're heading in the right direction, but we need to make sure that we maintain that attention to detail and practice tempo that we've been having for the past few weeks, and continue to grow as a team and a program.
Absolutely. Coach, thanks again. Congratulations. And we'll see you down the road, and go Tigers.
You betcha. Go Tigers.
We'll be back with more of the Bart Curtis Show and a couple interviews with a couple of the kids, plus lots of film clips. Welcome back, everyone, to the Bart Curtis Show. We're talking now to sophomore THEO KATRIS, and usually we don't have sophomores on the show, but this one happened to distinguish himself last Friday night at Northridge by not getting one, but 2 interceptions. Sure. What's going on with that?
I don't know. It was I wasn't expecting it, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so you just kind of like being in the right place at the right time.
I guess so.
Now, that last one, though on the sideline there, you had to kind of fight for that one.
Yeah, that one was a little bit harder. I had to jump for it a little bit. The first one, I didn't even know what happened.
Yeah,
it was just in my hand. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about your football career. You're a sophomore. Mm-hmm. How long have you been playing football?
Since 5th grade.
Okay, so that like little Tigers or junior Tigers or whatever? Young Tigers,
mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, and what position did you play as you were moving up through the ranks?
I started out as middle linebacker. I was a little bit bigger back then.
Right.
And then receiver, and then I couldn't catch it that well, so then I went back.
Unless another quarterback's throwing it.
Yeah, I guess so. And then outside linebacker in 8th grade, then safety, freshman, sophomore year.
All right. Let's talk about, I'm going to pick your memory a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
Like going from the 8th grade, and of course being a freshman level coach, I've seen this a lot. Jumping from the 8th grade to the freshman, how much of a big jump was that for you? Or maybe it wasn't that big a jump for you?
It was a pretty big jump because I was a lot smaller. You probably remember that than most people. Yeah, 8th grade I was medium. Freshman I got a little bit smaller compared to everyone.
Right.
But it was similar pretty much except for that. Like I didn't get as big as most kids did.
Right. Mm-hmm. What about the level of hitting and contact and that kind of thing? Did it step up once you got up to the freshman level?
Definitely, yeah. High school football is so much different than anything.
And then I would think jumping from freshman into, you played a little bit of JV ball, but now you're at the varsity level. And for a sophomore to be out there, that's there's some heavy duty stuff going on out there.
It's a lot different, definitely more than anything. Right. Like everybody's big. Every kid has every team has a couple of just huge kids on them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you, after a game like that, did you find yourself sore or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely.
I remember, and this was quite a long time ago, and yes, we did have helmets back then, but playing in a varsity football game as opposed to a JV, I mean, you just felt afterwards, like in the next morning, kind of almost like you were beat up.
Oh, yeah. It bruises everywhere, bumps.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling, though, if you win.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So let's talk about the win. It was a good, solid win. The Tigers are now 3-0 in the conference, and, of course, 4-1 overall. Let's talk about some of your ideas about how the team's progressing and what direction we're heading in.
There's definitely a difference. In the first game I started was Michigan City to Northridge. I think we're getting a lot better, and our defense is gelling really well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with that. I'm starting to see everyone kind of pull together and get that kind of thing. And I'm even experiencing that and seeing that come about on the freshman level too, where they're all starting to pull together and that kind of thing. So that's a neat thing about this particular team sport. Let's talk about, you don't know much probably about Goshen because it's early in the week and you guys haven't seen film or anything on them.
Yeah, I don't know too much about them.
Right. But, Goshen obviously is going to come into homecoming. They're going to come in here with their hair on fire and ready to play the Tigers because everybody wants to beat the Tigers.
Everybody does want to beat the Tigers.
All right, let's talk about what about some future plans. There obviously are sophomore. We got a couple more years, Lord willing, of playing some high school football. Do you thinking football might be in your plans in college, or is it too far off to talk about that?
Probably a little bit too far off.
Right.
I mean, I would love to play, though. It's a fun sport.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. What about schooling-wise? What's the goal as far as it goes to, you got any ideas on that, or is it too early to talk about that?
I'm not totally sure. I'm taking marketing right now.
Sure.
Class, but Purdue maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there's the right choice right there, buddy.
Yeah.
You're in the right spot there. Okay. Well, Theo, thanks a lot for spending a little bit of time with us here, and I really appreciate it. You're doing a great job. We're proud of you. Of course, I think I've told you and your brother that, 30-some years ago, I started eating at the American Table restaurant, so I was around the American Table long before you even got around. So it's always been an enjoyable experience to be around your family and be at the restaurant and all that kind of thing. And you do a little work out there now and then, right?
Yeah, every Sunday.
Yeah, okay.
Some Sundays at least.
Yeah, okay. Well, I may have to sneak out there sometime and you can give me a special table, right?
That'll definitely happen.
All right, Theo, thanks for being with us, sir. Good luck. We're heading into homecoming week, and, let's get after the Red Hawks and bring home another victory.
Yes, sir.
Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
You bet. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back in just a few moments. We're going to be talking to Julius Jones. And welcome back, football. Everyone. We're talking now to Julius Jones, a member of the Tiger football team. And Julius, first of all, congratulations on a great win last Friday night up at Northridge.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about, you had a really good game, you had some nice yardage and stuff, and of course I've watched you since you've been a freshman. Tell us some of the things that are different from the time you've been a freshman to now as a varsity player.
Well, as a freshman, I was a lot slower, and it was harder for me because I was smaller than everybody, so got worked over the summer super hard. From 2 years, sophomore year, I played a little bit of varsity, and now I'm back as a junior.
Absolutely. Well, you can definitely tell that you've gained in size, and you also gained in your strength. And of course, I would imagine the weight room probably had a lot to do with that too.
Yeah, it did.
Let's talk. And also, I think you're, and I don't know, as you've developed along here, as I've watched you too, your running skills have developed. Do you attribute that to anything in particular, or is it just something that's kind of natural for you?
I mean, just natural, just searching the field when, Patrick, when he's going to push his player in, push him out, just one cut and just go.
Yeah. And you guys do a really great job of playing off each other. And, of course, the offensive line does a pretty nice job of getting things open for you guys. And I thought against Northridge, of course, I think the main goal of the Northridge group, from their coaching staff point of view, was we're going to stop number 2 from going up the middle. But I guess they forgot about you guys.
Yeah.
So, anyway, let's talk a little bit about when you actually started playing football.
I think it was about second grade.
Oh, really? Okay.
Second grade Pee Wee football. I played with Coach Nolan on the Ravens with his younger son Grady,
Okay, yeah, sure.
and former player Drew Heckerman. So
Yeah, sure.
that's when I started playing,
Yeah, yeah.
second grade.
And so you've always enjoyed it and always been involved in it since then, huh?
Yeah.
Have you always been a running back, or did they have you in some other spots?
Running back, cornerback, that's probably about it.
Playing defense, is that something that you don't mind doing, or is that something you'd rather put your strengths towards offense, or is defense okay with you?
Whatever coach needs, I can really play that position.
Good answer, good answer. Well, usually, people that can play one way can play the other way too, because, you're just a good athlete, and that's what good athletes do. As far as it goes to the goals for this team, and how do you feel the team is coming together here as a team? Every team has its identity. Last year's team had its identity, and as coaches, we always look for the development of the identity of the team. How do you feel this year's team's coming together as far as it goes to team identity and playing together and that kind of thing?
I think we're coming together like pretty good. Our line's pretty young, but I feel like they're getting it together real good, and me and Mason and Patrick, we're all coming together as a backfield group, and Aaron and Juan, and I think we're going to be pretty good.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we got the Red Hawks coming to town. Only for 35 years called them the Redskins now, but they are the Red Hawks now, and they're coming to town. And of course, nothing to take lightly, because they are going to come in here with their hair on fire, and everybody wants to beat Warsaw.
Yeah. Everybody.
So how do you think, what are you going to do to help prepare yourself and the team for this coming week of practice?
Just go hard in all of our drills and team time, just have a good reps and perfection, and then hopefully we'll come out with the dub on Friday.
All right, very good. Julius, thanks for spending some time with us. It's a lot of fun to watch you and watch the Tigers and watch everyone working together to get the job done out there, and you guys are doing a great job. Hope everything keeps holding together and we keep pushing and developing this team, and, the sky's the limit for you guys.
Yes.
Thanks for being with us.
You're welcome.